Imagine finding out your relationship is over through a news alert, only to be spotted slow dancing with that same person in a dusty Texas bar a few nights later. That is the exact confusing reality surrounding Bella Hadid and her professional cowboy, Adan Banuelos. Most of us believe the story was simple. A supermodel moves to the country, falls for a rugged horseman, and then eventually the two worlds just stop clicking. But what actually happened in a small town near Fort Worth recently suggests the public story is missing a few very important chapters. Just hours after the world was told they had officially split, Adon was taken into custody. It happened in the early morning hours of a Saturday in Parker County, Texas. Local records show he was arrested for public intoxication. He didn't stay behind bars for long, as he reportedly posted a $386 bond at the same day. Now, usually an arrest like this feels like a classic heartbreak spiral. People close to the situation had already started whispering that the relationship was on again, off again, and frankly, quite tumultuous. But here is where things get messy. Exclusive video footage surfaced showing Bella and Adon together at a bar in Weatherford on that very Friday night. This wasn't an angry confrontation or a cold goodbye. They were slow dancing, and at one point, witnesses say Adon was sweetly nuzzling her neck. He was even seen spinning her around the dance floor before they shared a sweet embrace. It really challenges the idea that they were done by the time the news broke earlier that week. If they were processed as broken up on Monday, why were they acting like newlyweds on Friday night? Some fans think the split was a strategic move to lower the heat on their relationship. Others believe they were in the middle of a very emotional, very intense reconciliation attempt. Either way, the night ended with Adon in the back of a squad car instead of heading home with a supermodel. According to reports, he had been competing at a major horse event just hours before the bar incident. He's one of the biggest names in the equestrian world, with over $8 million in career earnings. He's not just a guy who wears a hat, he's the youngest Mexican cowboy ever inducted into the Hall of Fame. Bella actually talked about this in an interview not long ago, calling him a gust of fresh air. She moved to Texas to focus on her health while battling Lyme disease and basically fell head over boots for him. For a while, it looked like a fairy tale. They celebrated her 27th birthday in a horse stable with hay bales for chairs and a Western dress code. She even became a competitive rider herself, winning Rookie of the Year in her category. But insiders say the pressure of their two very different lives started to cause cracks. There's also the matter of their shared business interests, which makes a clean break almost impossible. Apparently, the two of them purchased multiple million-dollar performance horses together. When you have that much money and that much ego tied up in living, breathing assets, you can't just walk away. The horses need elite training and constant care, which Adon usually provides. So even if they wanted to split, they're tethered together by a very expensive string. The public reaction to all of this has been, well, a little brutal. When the Parker County Sheriff's Office released his mugshot, the internet had a field day. Specifically, people were shocked how different he looked without his signature cowboy hat. On social media, some commenters started using the term hatfishing to describe the situation. It sounds harsh, but when your entire brand is built on a specific look, people notice when it's gone. There were also rumors swirling in the local area that things weren't as pure as they seemed. One local claim that made the rounds was that it was an open secret he had been cheating on her. Of course, that hasn't been confirmed by any official sources, so we have to take it with a grain of salt. But it adds a layer of tension to the tumultuous label people are putting on the breakup. If there was infidelity involved, that Friday night dance in Weatherford looks a lot more like a desperate attempt to save something broken. Some fans think his arrest was a direct result of the emotional weight of fumbling a relationship with someone like Bella. One person online joked that they would also be drinking in public if they lost a partner of that caliber. Meanwhile, Bella seems to be moving on with a very focused energy. Reports say she's doing her best to stay positive and distract herself with work. She has a major new acting role in a series called The Beauty, where she actually plays a supermodel. She's also still very active in her humanitarian work and her fragrance brand, Orabella. She spent the holidays in Aspen with friends, noticeably without Adan, which was the first big sign that things were over. But then we have that Friday night video. It makes you wonder if she was back in Texas trying to give it one last shot. Or maybe they're just one of those couples that can't stay together but can't stay apart either. Neither of them has made a public statement about the arrest or the current status of their hearts. Adan's representatives have been quiet, and the sheriff's office hasn't released the specific details of what led to the police intervention. In Texas, a public intoxication charge usually means someone was being a bit of a nuisance or couldn't safely take care of themselves. It's a minor legal issue, but the timing couldn't have been worse for his reputation. He had just reached a massive career milestone of $8 million in earnings earlier that month. He should have been celebrating his professional peak. Instead, his name is tied to a mugshot and a messy split from one of the most famous women in the world. The cowboy core era of Bella's life might be coming to a very loud, very public end. It's a strange pivot from the polished high fashion world she usually inhabits. But, as they say, things are different in Texas. What do you think is really going on behind the scenes with these two? Was that Friday night dance a final goodbye, or is there a chance they're still trying to make it work despite the chaos? I'd love to hear your theories in the comments. Do you think the $1 million horses are keeping them trapped in a cycle, or is it true love that just got a little too messy? Drop your thoughts below and let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this look into the situation, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates on your favorite stars. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a story. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you in the next one.